Aloha. You're watching F5 at Agility 2015 here in Washington, D.C. Over the years, one of the unique things about F5 is our DevCentral online community. And I'm excited to have a couple DevCentral members with us this morning. I got a longtime DevCentral dude, Joe Pruitt. Great to see you, Joe.
You too, man.
It's been a few years since we yucked it up on camera, hasn't it?
I know, you sent me the video. It's been maybe 3 or 4 we've done this together, yeah.
And then we got Tony Hynes. Nice to see you, Tony.
Great to be here.
So the first thing I wanted to just ask you guys is DevCentral's been around for a long time, and can you tell us a little bit about the history of DevCentral, Joe?
Sure, yeah. DevCentral started way back, I think in 2003 is when we initialized and built the first platform for it. And it was designed for us to help target developer community. Specifically back then it was for iControl. So to help application developers come into the fold into the networking world. So DevCentral started as a machine under my desk.
A single server, right?
A single server under my desk, and it's worked its way up, and now we're multi-data center. We walk the walk with all of our products running DevCentral. We use iRules and ASM and all of that, all the technologies, APM to get access to it. So we're eating our own dog food now with the server. It's kind of cool.
So tell me how it's grown over the years. I remember I actually joined DevCentral in 2004, and I can't remember what member I was, but I know your membership has now grown over the 100,000 mark, hasn't it?
It's yeah, and we've passed the 200,000 mark.
200,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know what the official numbers are we can give. Tony's the giver of those numbers, but we've passed 200,000, which is a big mark for us.
And so what are some of the things that our partners and customers come to DevCentral for? Like what is it the destination for? Sure,
yeah, I think the #1 aspect of our site right now is question and answers. It's a place for users to come in, have problems to solve. They've got a new big IP that lands on their desk. Yep. Or in their data center or on their virtual machine or inside on their laptop, or whether you're a developer or a network operator. And they're like, I've got to solve this problem, how do I do that? Yep. So we have technical resources, we have articles, we have blogs, but I think the Q&A for the community to ask questions with each other is the most vibrant area of DevCentral right now.
The forums, right?
The forum, well, we call them question and answers, but yeah, it used to be the forums. It was forums last time we talked.
Yeah, okay.
But the Q&A, it's really, the reason we had forums was good for questions and a bunch of follow-ups, but it didn't really give us the concept of, hey, I've got a problem, and what's a correct answer to that? And it's allowing us as staff members on DevCentral to say, you know what, this is a correct answer. So it's turning it more into a knowledge base. Right. So yeah, that's I think where the majority of areas is, but they come in for API documentation, they come in for code share, sample applications, whether it's iRules or iControl. Programmability is big in orchestration. We're seeing that with cloud, we're seeing that with DevOps, as DevOps is starting to take hold in organizations. The big key from getting applications from your developer's workstation all the way up to distributed on the network out in the data center. So that whole flow across, doing it manually is has a lot of inherent problems, right? So iControl was originally developed to help with those automation type problems.
Now you spoke iRules and iControl, and I know certainly over the years, the iRules to the programmability of the big IP platform, and a number of those iRules have actually turned into features within the big IP, but more specifically, can you talk just a little bit about how iRules plays with iControl and iCall, and how do those all three kind of work together?
Yeah, so the whole big IP platform, we've got a programmability model on top of that. We've got our management plane, our data plane, and our control plane. Management, meaning iControl, is if you're an operator and you have to go in and you have to click a bunch of checkboxes, creating objects, deleting objects for deploying your applications, that's where our automation and our management plane deals with iControl, being able to automate those so you don't fat finger and type the wrong things, right? iRule is our API, or embedded API for real-time data transfer. So as your application is flowing across the network, we've got an application model for you to be able to inspect that traffic and modify and change. iCall is our system level control plane API, where if you see a system event, being able to react on those. So if your servers are reaching capacity, typically you would have a monitoring system doing all of that, trying to pull down, well, for my pool members, what's their throughput, what is their perceived capacity. This is a way inside of our configuration on the system to be able to react on that, whether that's adding new servers or reprovisioning applications.
Like noticing something coming in, recognizing that you need to make an adjustment, and within that iRule being able to make that adjustment within the proxy.
Yeah, exactly. And the last kind of big pillar of programmability is our iApp platform. So iApps are a way for us to take the hundreds or thousands of objects within our system that are created when you're deploying a large-scale application and building those into an application service object. So you kind of treat all of those properties as a single entity. Allows you to build a nice little simplified user interface on top of it for management of that, and gives you a lot more control of how those objects are handled later on from an administrative standpoint.
And the real cool thing about iRules, and particularly the iApps, is the ability for our members, our community, to share them with each other.
Yeah.
Post them up and let others be able to pull down that code and potentially deploy it within their own unique environment.
That's right. Yeah, the code share section on our site is big for us, and DevCentral is all about community. We're there to help our users help each other. We don't perceive to know what our users know. That was one of the biggest lessons I learned early on, is that when customers come in and ask questions, who am I to say I know how to solve your embedded XML within your financial exchange system?
Yep.
I can give you some tips, but we have users asking questions. We have other users who have been through that. So part of the community is users sharing and contributing. We contribute a lot of internal samples, but users do that as well. And they provide collaboration and feedback in applying those. So iApps on DevCentral, we've got F5 official supported iApps, and then we have customer defined ones that are shared. iRules, iControl, all of our APIs are in the collaborative space on DevCentral.
So we talked a lot of history, Tony, here with Joe, the DevCentral #1, Ichiban DevCentral.
It's been a long time.
From DevCentral like today and into the future, where do you see it going?
Yeah, so unlike Joe here, who's been, 17 years at F5, I'm going on month number 6.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's a great company. I'm really focused on, for DevCentral, to focus on growth and focus on personalization for the site. So making sure that we're providing the content to the users the way that they want to consume it. So you'll see some changes here in a couple months on DevCentral. We've been working really hard on some updates that are going to be coming to the site soon. So that's going to be really exciting. The other part is making sure that we're focused on the relationships with our customers. Our MVPs, which is a award program that we have on the site. We currently have 12 MVPs globally, and I think 9 of them are here actually at Agility, so that's great. So that's a program that we set up to award and recognize key contributors in our community and thank them for everything that they do.
And from an MVP perspective, what do they say? Like, what is the benefit that's provided to them? So, I mean, I know the benefits we get and I get personally, but from an MVP perspective, what do they get out of it?
Yeah, the award does come with some benefits as far as a closer relationship with F5 and being able to be invited to events like this with Agility. But the real reward comes from these individuals. They thrive off of the support and help that they give to other members in the community, right? So it's really important to make sure that they're getting that pat on the back and that recognition, because they really do go above and beyond when it comes to helping contribute and participate in our community.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously it's f5.com as our primary site, but what's DevCentral's site so people can find it?
DevCentral.f5.com.
Very good.
So yeah, go to F5. There's links on community off the DevCentral site. But if you search DevCentral, you'll find us.
And they're all linked and cross-linked together in terms of searching. You can go to one, find something on the other, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
One thing I'd like to, before we jump plugging on the MVPs, is that I think when the class that came in this year, a lot of them were surprised that they were actually recognized. So we're not active. We haven't actively in the past said, here's what you need to do to become an MVP. So we're looking at users that are on their own coming into the site with a goal of helping other people and contributing and going above and beyond their current job focus. So the group that we have in this year has done an awesome job, and the community kind of be able to self-sustain itself without the users helping.
Of course.
And users on the community, if they do recognize someone that has really gone above and beyond as far as helping, we do have a nominate an MVP section on DevCentral that they can go to nominate and recognize someone.
Awesome. So obviously, if you're looking for some question and answers, some programmability tips and tricks, some iRules to help manipulate your systems.
There you go.
You got to check out devcentral.f5.com. And I know you guys are doing a sign up this week, and
we are
really pushing getting DevCentral out there.
Coming to DevCentral, there's no registration required to browse and look at some of the content. So take a look. If you're new to F5, you're new to the products, or even if you're a seasoned veteran and you're just tackling a new problem that you need to solve, odds are there's some information in there that'll help you.
Yep. I really appreciate your guys' time, and I've loved DevCentral over the years. I mean, I've been posting there for a long time, so your support is always appreciated. And you got a great setup here at Agility, I got to say.
No, it's been a great conference for us. A lot of great folks coming up to the booth and talking to us, listening to some of the presentations we've been giving, and a lot of good questions.
Yep. So check out DevCentral, devcentral.f5.com. For Tony, my good buddy Joe, I've known Joe a long time. I'm Peter, and we're with F5 Networks. Thanks for watching.